Good afternoon, what I can only call a mild day. It doesn't look like it's going to rain, but fingers crossed it stays off. Everything is just overgrown now, even the grapevines are they're just going everywhere. So I think everything needs a good trim today, a good sort out, especially the greenhouse. Honestly, the greenhouse is just overgrown. It's in desperate need of a good trim back, a good feed. And yeah, I mean, this is not how it's supposed to be done. So I'm going to go in today, tackle it all, and I've got some little fitments that I want to show you that I connected here. I bought them last year, so everything is just like, it's like a jungle in here, but there's so much room here. You've even got some cucumbers in. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. All the marigolds are just taking over the paths now. But yeah, so I'm going to sort this out. That's one of the plans I'm going to do. And I spoke too soon about having this perfect bed. There's one plant, I think it was because it was stressed out and the nets were pushing on it for so much, and one of the sprouts has gone to seed. So this sprout plant here will have to come out today. It's okay, 5 out of 6 is okay, and I still got all my red ones over here as well, my red bull sprouts. So I've been harvesting some of the cabbages. I've got some courgettes over here I can see as well. And like this bed definitely is a weed today. And I also need to take these cabbages out. Look at this huge April cabbage. It's crazy. So yeah, I need to empty this bed out and just put my Swede in. I'm so late with my Swede and my leeks this year. They're normally out a month or so ago, but yeah, oh well. This is the thing that happens. Allotments, you just can't plan everything. You can say, okay, I'm going to do it this week, and it doesn't. It just doesn't happen. For instance, for about 4 weeks, I've been saying I'm going to put my eggplant in. My eggplant. My aubergine. Sorry, I'm in the UK. My aubergine. So today is the day. Look at it. But I potted it on, and I've got 3 flowers on there as well, so I need to find a little space in my greenhouse that it can just flourish now, and sink or swim, that's what's going to happen. So yeah, there's so much to do. Look at the pond now. So I don't know what this plant is at the back here, but I'm enjoying this plant anyway. I'm enjoying the fact that it wasn't planned. It wasn't planted, it was the original plant that was on the plot. So I've got loads of little jobs that I just definitely need to get done today, and then I think next week I'm going to show you how I fit up a new big solar panel on the shed, because the amount of things that I'm using now, my panel that I've got, is not enough to keep all of it going. So bigger panel, so more energy going into the batteries. Also, my sunflowers. They are growing amazing here. I don't know whether or not the slugs are too afraid to go near the chicken coop, but they're looking lovely there. And the good thing about these sunflowers is when they need to be harvested, the girls will have them for winter snacks. Also, these are sunchokes that I had off Tony O'Neill, artichokes. What's with me using all these American names today? So yeah, so they're artichokes, some people call them sunchokes, and they go super high. Tony gave me them. I'm not sure I'm going to eat them, because I'll try 1 or 2, but I'm not sure if I like them, but there'll be a nice flower on the plot either way. Right, let's get the jobs done. So this is one thing I love about having an allotment. You think you're the master of this land and you know everything that's going on you, and that couldn't be further from the truth. So I planted some cauliflowers, and I'm not joking you, they were battered and battered and battered, and for some reason I just put a net over them. I just left them, I forgot all about them, and I thought the purple sprouted broccoli, I'll have a good little harvest on them. But look what I found today. This beautiful huge cauliflower. So I'm going to cover over the leaves to keep the rain and the sun off, just by snapping them over it into the hole, and that will keep it protected and white. Also, I've got some purple sprouting broccoli that's coming through as well. These have been a huge success this year. I failed last year, and yeah, my onions looking okay. I'm not sure what this plant weed is, but I like it. I don't know why, but I just like the formation of those little flowers, so they can stay for now. My Crimson Crush tomatoes, I have snapped all the suckers off 3 times and they're just still going. And weirdly, I planted some sunflowers right in the middle of these tomatoes, and the slugs, for some reason, whether or not they don't like the smell of tomatoes, they've left them alone. Like, there's not one bite on them. So yeah, I'm going to definitely do that next year. So if you're thinking about doing sunflowers next year and they keep getting battered by the slugs, plant them in between your outdoor tomatoes if you've got some, and I promise you, for some reason, I think it's the smell. I think there's something to do with the smell or something. There's something that they don't like on that tomato, and it's keeping them from those sunflowers. The runner beans, they are finally shooting up the canes, you know, and I have added an extra few in here that are finally going up, so fingers crossed. But the ones off Terry King, they have been a showstopper already. I've got some beans coming here, so it won't be long now. So yesterday I cooked a beautiful lamb roast, and I collected one of the cauliflowers because there's a few over there. I had a cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage, it was just, and the carrots. It was so nice to just know that everything that I put on that plate, apart from the lamb, I grew, like every single thing. And do you know what, eating that meal was a huge satisfaction to me. If you've got an allotment or a garden, you know how that feels, knowing that you put that seed in and you've grown it to fruition and harvest and enjoying it, and it's just a completely different sensation. So I really enjoyed it. I'll pop it on the screen now, and it was one of the nicest meals I've ever had, with homegrown gravy, homemade gravy, and it was just stunning. Right, and then, and that reminds me, today I've got to collect some sage and some rosemary because I'm doing some homemade sausage rolls, hog roast sausage rolls, and yeah, I'm going to take those into work tomorrow because we got some team building day, so I'm sure they'll appreciate some hog roast sausage rolls, and I'll take a few things from the plot. Right, next job. So I think my next job, which I keep putting off and I keep putting on the back burner for another day, is this bed here. It's the raised polytunnel. So I think today there's a bit of bindweed in there and a little bit of mare's tail and some raspberry runners that used to be a raspberry bed years ago. So I must not have got them all out. So, but if you can see, this teeming with flowers for baby tomatoes. These are the house tomato plants. I directly put them into the ground, and look, absolutely teeming. This one is huge. I cannot remember what this one is, but I'll have a look now and I'll see what the label says. If I have one, I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know what it says. Yeah, this doesn't seem to have a... So I'm not sure, but this one is huge. Absolutely huge. And this was the mystery tomato plant that looks terrible. Absolutely terrible, but it keeps giving me tomatoes. And I've already had some red tomatoes off it already. So, and the chili plants. They're all coming to flowering now. So it looks like I'm going to have some decent chilies this year. So it's all weeded and it's good for another day. So yeah, it always looks really good once you've had a little bit of a weed. But within a month we'll be back at it again. But that's the fun of allotmenting. It's always another job, and it's jobs you've done about 10 times, but we keep doing it, don't we? We just keep going on and on and on. So a little update on the Ronda beans as well. The Ronda runner beans. They are doing so good as well, and I'm going to keep a lot of this seed because for some reason the slugs didn't bother with it. Again, I think it was to do with the cocoa coir down here. I don't think they like walking over it. Well, if they've got legs, you know what I mean. But for some reason I planted them in, no bites from the slugs either, and for some reason having that mulch of cocoa coir on the end, on the top of the surface, it deterred them really well. I will try that again next year, but if you're having problem with slugs, try that. Like, try putting a bit of cocoa coir on the top of your plants or around it. For some reason they hated it. Like, they just stayed off that bed. Could have been a fluke, but who knows. Look at my apples. First year, and I know this sounds really sad, but it's the first year this tree has, you know, come to fruition. So yeah, I'm really happy with it so far. So far so good. Even if I just have one apple, I'll be happy. So I've got these 3 cosmos, and I think they'll be perfect underneath these trees. As you know, they don't take long to get from this to a huge bush with 1 cosmos. So I'll get these out now, and I'm sure it won't be long before they're a showstopper. What a beautiful array of flowers now underneath here. This will just get better and better over the years. And that's the thing, you know, it's not all about this year, it's about the future of the plot as well. I'm getting through the jobs today. So last year I bought these that fit inside the framework of the roof, and I was gonna get some little junction clips and things, but then I discovered these at the end of last year. And basically, so what you do is you fit this part in, tighten it up, and then you've got this ringlet that hangs from the roof, and then you can connect your tomatoes to that. So let's add some of these in. So I'm absolutely roasted in here. This YouTubing is not as glamorous as you think it is, let me tell you. So the idea is that I'll fit this in here and then lock it shut like so. That's the plan anyway. Now I'll tighten these with a spanner as well at some point, and yeah, I'm liking this idea. So I'll probably run some wire or a cane across here now as well, so that I can connect them all too. Right, so if I run these canes across here like so, and if I just pop a little cable tie through, tell you what, it's absolutely boiling in here. It's marking up as 29 degrees in here, and I hate the heat. So if we pop that to say, you know what, if we go to the full length like so, and then we pop another cable tie here. I've seen a few people do something similar. I know Bill and Val, they have, like, I think he's made his clips as well. But yeah, I just happen to have already bought these, so if we go to there like so. Ah, look at me. This is real allotment, and this is, I tell you now, it's not as glamorous as you think. I thought it'd be nice and mild today, but no, the sun's come out. There, I'm happy with that. I'll adjust it a little bit better than this, I think, but that should keep the tomatoes happy. And then I'll twist it around. These canes are not as long. I can't remember them being this short. So I know why. In my old greenhouse the beds were higher, so if we go to there, oh, that works. There we go. Job done. Feels a bit lighter in you now, and yeah, I'm happy. It's had a good prune back, and at least it's getting a bit of air in you and airflow. So last bit of the job and then I'm done. A lemon, cucumber in here, but sadly the stem has rotted, so it gives me space, I suppose, for this aubergine, and I think that'll enjoy that in there. I think what I might have done with the crystal lemons, I might have planted a little bit too deep, or somehow it's just rotted, but I'll keep an eye on this anyway, so hopefully you'll enjoy that space there. And while we're in the greenhouse, look at these. These are called Black Beauties. So I've already got some of those there, and I've also got some Frenchy Toms here, and an Ananas Noir here. These are Sun Golds, and then over here I have my Tigerellas. These are Elsa Craigs, and I've also got one so far Brad's Atomic Grape. So I think the plan next year is that maybe, to save me doing as much weeding in this polytunnel, is that I'll add a weed membrane down, and then that'll also keep the moisture underneath the soil as well. And then I'll just pierce holes and plant all my chilies and tomatoes through there. So that might be a plan for next year, but they're looking fantastic. I gotta be honest, these three here are amazing. They were from those saved seeds from a fresh chili in Tesco's in December, and they're crazy, absolute crazy plant, and there's flowers on them as well, so hopefully I'll get some nice peppers off those. So now that the tomatoes and the chilies are flowering, it's important to make sure that you give it a feed of Tomarite or any tomato feed to give it that extra boost in food. So I'm just watering the ones from the bottom with the flowers on, and then hopefully that'll give us some nice chilies and tomatoes in the following months. I know I've shown this before, but look at that flush of purple through the cherry tree by just adding 3 plants of sweet pea underneath it at the start of spring, and it just gives it a nice flush of colour, and it's climbing all the way through. It's causing no harm to the tree at all. So the good thing about having this water system as well in place is that I can just add the tomato feed to the barrel, and I'll give it a nice slow feed now the next week through the greenhouse. So my last job for the day is that I've got some little gem lettuces here, and I'm just going to plant them willy-nilly in this bed because I've still got some spring onions in here that I'm harvesting, so I'll just plant these in just as they are. And then at least I've got a succession of plants for the summer, otherwise I'm going to run out of lettuce. And the good thing is the sun doesn't hit there as much, so by the time the sun comes around is later in the evening, so they don't get beaten down by the sun. And these being the little gem, they don't take as much space, and I actually prefer these. Job done. I think I've done all the jobs I need to do today, so I think it's warranted for me to go home and have a nice glass of cold cider in the sun and enjoy my garden. So take care guys, and I'll see you all again soon.